What if I told you there's a way to automatically sync your entire project files into Premiere and After Effects without having to click a single button? Then you'll want to check this out. If you're like me, you'll find that when you're working on a project and the client is sending you updated assets to chuck into the edit, you have to download it, put it into the correct folder, and then carefully import each file into each folder in Premiere, making sure you don't miss any important shots from the list. If you haven't seen our previous video that features Project Jumpstart, which is our tool that allows you to set up and organize projects in an instant, stop this video and click on the link on screen or in the description below to watch that first, as we'll be using Project Jumpstart alongside this very exciting tool. So what is this mythical tool, you ask? Well, it's an extension called Watchtower from our friends at the Knights of the Editing Table, which allows you to automatically import any new media directly into Premiere or After Effects. So be sure to stick around to the end of the video to find out how to access this tool, as well as an exclusive discount. Once you've installed Watchtower inside of Premiere or After Effects, you can access it by going to Window, Extension, and Watchtower. The first thing you'll want to do is head over to the cogwheel for the preferences and make sure that Enable Autosync is checked. Show Import Options is for when you want to import a Photoshop or Illustrator file, and it asks you how would you like to import that. And you'll also want to check notifications to have the pop-up in Premiere for when a new file is detected and imported. We then have Files, which is where you can check or uncheck the file types that you want to import, or even add in your own file extensions. The folder icon is where you're going to be telling Watchtower which folders to sync. What I'd recommend is to use the Project Jumpstart folder structure and then uncheck the Projects folder. The reason is, in most cases, it's rare that you'd want to import your Premiere and After Effects projects. Once you've selected those folders and any others that you want to sync, you can go ahead to Advanced and you'll see 3 different settings. If you're a motion graphics artist or you work in 3D, you're going to love this feature. S to import image sequences, which detects an entire image sequence and imports it into one neat file. F to flatten folder, which is to avoid having tons of subfolders like you get from most cameras, and instead it will import just the main video files. And R to use the relative path. This is great for project templates, which we'll come back to. Now, Watchtower is pretty smart. It can even detect what are image sequences and which are camera files. So be sure to check through and select all the relevant settings, hit OK, and watch the medieval magic happen.
But I do my little magic shaking. Now it's in my right hand.
You'll see everything imported exactly as you have it inside of Finder or Windows Explorer. And to prove this works, let's go ahead and drag in some stock footage into the purchased folder, and Watchtower will automatically update this for you, like so. This is such a time saver when you do this task hundreds of times a week. What if you don't want to import your files automatically? Then you can turn automatic sync off and you can use this refresh icon that manually syncs your folders whenever you want. Now I'd love to show you 4 bonus tips that I use on every project. What I like to do is to always sync up my stock footage folder, which has tons of icons, motion graphic elements, stock footage, sound effects, and music that I've been building up over the years, so that I can quickly dip into these assets and drop them into the timeline in seconds. If there are any assets that you use on every project, like light leaks, transitions, animation packs, etc., you can bring them into every project. I'd recommend keeping everything as organized as possible with subfolders into categories that could be as simple as sound library, sound effects, electricity, fire, whooshes, and so on. Bonus tip 2 is using exclusion folders. So let's say you have several folders with a certain name all buried within one another. You can use exclusions to say sync everything in this folder except any folders with the word proxies in there. That way you don't have to deselect each folder manually that you may have missed out. Bonus tip 3 is using Watchtower with After Effects. The only difference here is that in the settings you can tell Watchtower to import Photoshop and Illustrator files as either footage, compositions, or compositions that retain their layer sizes. And the last tip is my favorite as it works with Project Jumpstart because I'm not biased. You can use our folder structure template for every single project automatically. This means that every time you start a new project, you can just select the project folder that you want to sync and click the R for relevant path. Then it will always sync every folder within that path, even when you transfer this to an external drive or work on the go. This is my recommendation for how you should set up your projects from now on. So that's my Project Jumpstart and Watchtower workflow. And the good news is it doesn't stop there.
But that's not the end of the magic trick.
The creator himself, Ivan at the Knights of the Editing Table, has been kind enough to offer NK students a very special discount. So if you're a member of our course, you can access that today inside of the discount section of our course. And if you're not, I'll link to it in the description below to Freelance Mastery, which is our course to level up your freelancing career. I'll also link to Watchtower below to show our support to Ivan for this awesome plugin. And if you're liking this post-production series, why not subscribe to the channel and watch the next hack in this playlist. Thank you for watching as always, and I'll catch you in the next one.